one
With
said it
formula.
will be beneficial for us.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Is that clear?
No, that was
The other one.
that was the other one.
Managerial accounting.
It's in your benefit.
Somebody
That's
said it would
true.
be beneficial, and I'm saying that was managerial accounting.
Managerial
Yeah,
accounting.
He wrote like that.
Michael.
No, he won't.
No, he won't.
But he wasn't sure.
Managerial accounting is a close.
I think some formulas or something would be helpful.
He should
He
kind of tell
wants
us.
it to be close. You can write it on the
I
back.
think we can ask. Was it Corbet that was saying that he wouldn't be to our benefit? If it
Yeah,
was,
that's one. Yeah.
Mikhail Corbett.
I'm totally making these numbers up.
That's good.
Okay, so is this a good investment or not?
What is 1.7 million next year?
What's that?
What does it mean?
That means the company has told us that they're going to pay out $1.70 for their dividend next year.
Per share.
Per share.
Which is price per.
Yes.
So price number we get from our analyst, right? That's the expected dividend next
For the
year.
company.
Okay. Then we define the required rate. That's sort of our job. Then the dividend growth also goes with the first one.
Yeah, so basically that says, I think they're going to pay $1.72 2 years from now in dividends.
And then the current price is what they're charging for it actually.
That's what it's trading for in the market.
Do I put for R 0.01 in the formula, or do I put 10?
Point one.
It's not looking good right now. The price is high.
Yeah.
Should be 18.8.
What's that? 18.8?
18.9, yeah.
Everybody get 18.9?
Yes.
So not only should we sell this, but we should probably short this guy. I'll talk about shorting. So your analysis would say this is a very bad investment.
Yeah, right now.
If we already have it, would I sell it even though it's growing, or would I hang on to it because I think
Based off of this analysis, well, that takes your growth, so the growth is taken into account.
That's the
So
current price.
this analysis
Current
says
price.
if I own this,
It's at
sell it right
30,
away.
but market
Now, if this was
18.8.
Amazon, and they don't really pay much of a dividend, and we know that they're growing like crazy, this may not be the best way to value Amazon.
But in a classroom setting,
Classroom
If you
setting,
see it.
as far as the test goes,
don't buy it or sell it.
it's basically basing the company off of what the future dividends are.
This 18.9 which we calculated is the expected rate next year. No, not rate. The price.
I'm sorry.
Current price is
Oh,
30.
that's what the price should be right now. That's priced at times 0.
Expected current
I
price.
still don't understand the concept of 18.9.
How do we decide?
Sure. So it's this right here.
Uh-huh.
So if we put these over here,
But is it a good investment or not?
this is D1,
Uh-huh.
this is R,
So do you want to sell
this
this?
is G. And this is what I'm saying P0 is, but I have to decide if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Okay.
If they ask to invest in this, then it's a good investment.
Yeah.
P0, okay.
So then it's
If they sell to 15, buy because you buy for also.
I would get error if the required rate and dividend growth is the same.
15 it's good.
What would that be?
Okay.
required rate of return and dividend growth were the same.
Yeah,
It will be divided by 0.
On there you could calculate what would be
Exactly.
You
Then it would
How
just be
much
the price.
is
you would throw this model out the window and you'd try a different model. That's the real thing, and analysts wouldn't use this for something like
when the
that.
market is
It doesn't work
it's
that way.
good or not.
To have greater than an expected, to have a dividend growing as fast as the company, that's pretty rare. They'd have to be basically paying out all of their future expected earnings.
So it's
So it's kind of factored into the model, but again,
Theoretically, it is.
analysts kind of they don't close their eyes, but a lot of these numbers aren't exact numbers anyway. Yes?
question regarding beta. How you interpret it? Is it around some number less than 1, more than 1?
Beta?
Beta, yeah.
Beta can be, actually, there's no limit on beta. It doesn't have to be between -1 and 1.
Did you say 1 is following the market completely, right?
Yeah. 1 means that a change of 1% in the market will affect my stock 1%.
Okay, so that means if it's less than 1%, is like, it's good, it's less volatile.
So if beta is 0, the market goes up 1%, has no effect on my stock. If beta is -1, the market goes up 1%, my stock goes down 1%. If beta is 7, the market goes up 1%, I go up 7%. Just based off of market news, not off of anything my company did.
Garrett, if the 18.9 is smaller than 30, what does it mean?
It means it's a bad investment because this is what it should be priced at based off of my analysis. And if it's really trading at this,
They're charging more.
Okay.
they're charging more than what I think it's actually worth. So if the market has said it's 30 and I think it's only worth 18, I either want to get rid of it, not buy it, or try and make money on it going down. Now then you come to the efficiency of the market, and shouldn't everybody know this? And but
Also,
yes, at least for the exam, this does not work for the problem that we're doing though, because the cash flows are not growing at a steady rate. The dividends not growing at a steady rate.
So for the exercise that we are working on, did you just take the 60% they gave us and multiply it with the discounted cash flow?
What's
I mean,
that?
with the return? For the exercise that we have, for dividends, did you just take the 60%, multiply that with the return for the company? To come up with a dividend payment.
It says that the company pays out 60% of its earnings,
Okay.
and then it kind of spells out what its earnings are. It does spell
The
out.
12.5% growth, right?
Yeah, but there's other things that happen also. But out into the future, the earnings are growing at 12.5%.
First few years it's 100% or something.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Sorry. How do you calculate the growth of the dividend? Like, what data do you need to do that?
That would be an analyst thing, or you would say you could actually do it for the company that the IPO that we're doing now, if you didn't have uneven things in the beginning.
Do you understand?
So it says it's growing at 12.5% in the future. If you could start from that and go forward, you could calculate using this formula.
Yes.
The problem is that there's no dividends in the beginning, and even negative, and then it grows really quickly at first. So they're uneven cash flows. This only works if the cash flows are even or grow at a steady rate.
When you were saying even cash flows, you mean any given point of time that you are taking into account, there are cash flows. Like every single, because
I'm just saying, because this is a model that projects the future, it's saying as if all earnings are going to be fairly regular going out into the future, and that you could probably say that over time they will look kind of like a straight line. But since we know specifically for the assignment that there's some really irregular things for the first 5 years, you can't use this formula.
Could you explain again how that relates to market efficiency? Because I kind of understood market efficiency, but just in its isolated manner, I didn't get the connection.
So market efficiency, this would be a semi-strong formula, or maybe a strong. And basically, it's saying that everybody has that information. Everybody has the information that they're going to pay $1.70 next year, and everybody has the information that it should grow at 1% because of what the company has said. And everybody has the information that there's a 10% required rate of return. Now, you and I might specifically disagree. I might think that the required rate of return is 12, and you might think it's 10. but we all have the same information. So we all should be able to calculate this. We might come up with different numbers, but there's no information that I have that you don't.
You all read the same book, but you make different conclusions on
But
It would be
said that the price changes immediately, right? So if they announce right now our dividend is going to be spectacularly high, let's say $5 next year compared to the 1.7. Nobody knew so, but then I wouldn't, in an efficient market, this is how I understood it, I couldn't go and buy the stock now because the market would have already calculated that in the
Yeah, market moves very quickly. The weak theory would say, I would know that they're going to have $1.70 because I was on the conference call, and you don't have the ability to be on the conference call, so you wouldn't know. It's not inside information. I didn't get it from the accountant before they actually published the results. But because I was able to listen to that conference call and you weren't, I have information that you don't. And so I'm going to price that in immediately. I'm either going to buy or sell immediately based off that information.
That would be the weak market.
That would be weak. The semi-strong says basically that information is disseminated very, very quickly, and I as an analyst don't have information that you, or at least don't have access to information that you can't get access to. Now you may not want to listen to a conference call, but that doesn't say you don't have access to that
But
information.
I wouldn't have a disadvantage either because it would be so quick that nobody else could have an advantage.
Yeah,
So
I mean
it's
it's all
not
on Yahoo Finance within seconds these days. So I also put on my little sheet here some practical real world things. Do you guys want to go over any of that, or do you want me to just go out?
No, good. That would be
As
interesting.
long as it relates, I mean, I don't want to learn things that are not going to, I mean, I don't want to learn things that are outside the realm of the class.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but I'm afraid if I do, that's going to confuse me for the class.
Do you want to know, so for time value of money, I could show you on Excel how to calculate a mortgage. Is that something that...
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
That's great.
So, and also if you have a financial calculator, you can do this. But time value of money.
Did you learn that from your CFA?
Yes.
I learned this before that.
Are there also, Shira, just when we're on our own, are there good things to Google, good learning places that you would say go Google this and go to this, a website or something that's good at explaining?
If you have like definition terminology questions, Investopedia is probably one of the best ones. It doesn't add things in there that you don't need. Wikipedia is very good, but lots of times it'll give you 18 formulas and you're sitting there wondering.
Investopedia is very good. I'm referring to that.
Okay.
Yeah, it is good.
Okay, so for a mortgage, time value money, everybody knows present value, future value, payment, interest, and its number of payments.
Yep.
So you can calculate any of these on Excel, and you can do equals any of those. And so for a mortgage, if we have a 30-year, 5% interest, $200,000.
That would be yearly interest, right? The rate.
Yeah. What? So in Excel,
What is 200,000?
it's mortgage. So I'm not talking about what I paid for the house. I mean, I could have said I paid $250 and I put down 20%, but my mortgage is $200,000. So in Excel, what would I do equals what? What am I trying to solve for?
Payment.
Payment.
Yes.
The monthly payment.
So you do equals payment.
12390.
And then this is the reason, even though the fixed income professor was wondering why mortgage rates are quoted on an annual basis, but they're charged on a monthly basis. For this reason.
So you said equals payment?
Mm-hmm. And then
I don't see the payment.
PMT. Sorry. It's these.
Is that a formula?
These are the different things you can solve for. So present value, future value, payment, interest, or number of compoundings.
But we don't have the formula here, right?
It's in Excel.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
What are you doing here?
What is
What is NPER? In the
Number of periods.
30.
So actually, there's more than 30 periods.
Well, it's in
It's
the
annual.
English version.
Oh, because it's a
Monthly. 30 into 12.
30 times.
But we need to convert the rate to monthly then, right?
Like 5%.
Should be
Yeah, that one.
And is there something
I don't
else?
remember.
Does that?
That's it, right?
There's not another definition for that here on this. What we're on all these.
Yes, it's right or not.
And for the period number of periods.
It should be NPER, I think.
Yeah, but there's nothing about.
Why?
Oh, it's this one.
Multiply.
This needs to be changed into
30 into monthly number of periods.
And then present value was taken
What's the
at
answer?
200,000.
Jared, is the 200,000 the mortgage today or
Yeah.
today?
Today.
So it's present value.
And we're assuming we're paying it off as we go. It's amortizing.
Okay.
5% of this 100,000 we're paying each month.
5% is the annual interest
We
rate.
have to pay 10,000 every
Yeah, this 5% is compounded annually.
month.
It's annual compounded, but it's charged on a monthly basis.
You just told me earlier
okay,
what how can I get the yearly if I
Is it
have the
annual, the PMT?
and now I have the yearly or do
Yes.
I get the monthly?
But in a mortgage, this is, remember the fixed income professor said, doesn't understand why
No, it's 8.
mortgage rates are quoted yearly, but they're only divided by 12.
Okay, that's why.
It's for this reason. It's because
what
mortgage
is the daily
professionals
rate you're
can't
getting?
divide by what's the power of 12.
Did you calculate
They're
monthly rate?
salespeople.
So you just take the 5%
What should it be?
What should the per monthly
And what
rate
can I
be?
see the formula
So
for a
it'll be the
PMT?
5% divided by.
If we were being charged yearly, right, it would be the simple formula for
Right.
without any changes in that, right?
12 months.
Yes, but you're going to
I
amortize
was
it, so you're
doing
going to pay
something
out
like
the
this.
200,000 as you go. So you can't
I
just
don't use
take.
this formula.
How does it do that?
Yeah, so the year.
So that's why
You add
that's why
one.
you have to use this.
Okay.
It's actually a very nasty formula.
Now it's good.
But
What's
I
the
mean,
answer?
if I'm using Excel, I just put the
What did
data
you get?
as
Sorry,
it is right
I'll
now,
get it.
right?
Yeah, except for you're going to go on a monthly basis. with
Yeah,
this.
like if it was yearly payment, I would just put the data as it is, and then it would be
Yes.
the number, and this would be yearly payment.
Yes, absolutely.
But I would pay for 3 years I would pay the same
You
rate
got
every month.
exactly the same, right?
Yeah, we're saying it's a fixed rate mortgage.
You should decide beginning on or end. That's why it doesn't work.
No, because I'm using these
Oh,
cells which are
okay,
empty
okay,
right now.
okay.
I'm putting
Yep.
values there.
Here's the answer.
5.
So then this is the monthly payment we are making.
Yes. So if I made that payment every month for 360 months, I would owe $0.
How did you calculate this?
1,700.
So how did you find with future values? Just did the formula when it's asking me to plug in future values. You just did the formula, the 1 plus.
So let me give you the numbers for each of these, and then we'll go through and we'll do another problem.
Yeah.
So present value is
Annual to
200,000.
monthly.
Future value, because I want to have it paid off, 0.
Calculate future.
Payment is what we're looking for. Interest is 5% divided by 12. And number of periods is 30 times 12.
Is it just the plain division 5 divided into 12?
Because I was using
Power for
Not for a mortgage. And for when you calculate car payments and all that, the difference in compounding is so small.
that is nearly.
You're talking about a penny on a monthly payment, not.
So I can just ignore that and go straight to that division.
Get a little bit different.
Um,
69.
It's
when we're done with the exam in this class, you can't. He's not asking us any of this for the class. This is more for personal benefit. If you want to know how to calculate a mortgage, or if you go buy a car and you want to know what interest rate they're actually charging you, you can actually do this. Because just for personal knowledge, one way for people to sell a car is they'll say, okay, what payment do you want? And here's the price. But they might be charging you 12% interest. They're just not telling you that when you're sitting at the table. Even though the rate's 5%. because if they can, why wouldn't they? Yeah.
Correct. Is it not the same formula like 200,000 is equal to PV into 1 plus 5 by 12 to the power 12 into 30?
You have to account for the cash flow though,
Sure.
the payment. I don't know that formula offhand.
Is this the monthly payment which you're making?
Yeah.
It comes in negative.
I still don't how to get it in. Because I take 5% of 200,000.
I have to make it consistent because I have to share it with you.
Yeah, so you have to do equals payment.
Yeah, because it should make sense at the end. You got a good memory. Right?
Yeah. So if you didn't pay off this loan in 30 years, if we just took what's 5% of 200,000, divided that into monthly payments, that'd be $833 and 33 cents. So the difference between those two is the amount of the mortgage you pay off in the first month.
What was the 833?
But how did you get this?
That's just the interest that you pay the first month.
How do you find that out?
It's just the 5% times 200,000 divided by 12. So the first month that I have a $200,000 mortgage, I pay $833 in interest, and I pay $240 towards the principal of my house.
And how did you get that first number out? 1,000.
Okay, so equals PMT in Excel.
Okay.
Would it ask you for rate though? Do you put 0.05 or do you put 0.05 divided by 12?
0.05 divided by 12.
Okay, and then what does type mean at the very
Oh,
end?
so type 1, 0, that's beginning or end. So do I make that payment in the beginning or the end of the month?
Yes.
So they're requiring me to pay that up front, or can I pay it at the end of the month?
Okay, so what are they asking you to play?
You can put 1 or 0. They either want 1 or 0. If you leave it blank, they assume it's end of the month, which I think is 1.
Does it make in this formula? Does it make a difference if we put 1 or 0?
Talking about fraction of a penny.
Okay, so is it better just to choose 1 or?
Yeah, you can leave it blank actually.
Oh, you can leave it blank.
I got mine.
And why is it telling you to put it in brackets?
That's just how all the formulas for. Because if you wanted to do something else in Excel after it.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't come up with that.
In this case, you told us that we're going to calculate.
You probably have 30 years. What's that?
In this case, you told us that
I
we're
think
going to
that's
calculate
difference
on a monthly
between
basis. Do we
month
actually know?
starting and beginning of the period.
Yeah,
right?
mortgages are paid on a monthly basis. Same with a car loan.
So under incur though, I should put 360 though.
Yeah.